Well, bullying doesn't just happen on the playground. In a CareerBuilder.com survey of more than 5,000 workers, more than 1 out of 4 said that they've been bullied on the job. Joining us now to talk about bullying at work is Mary Lou Quinlan, CEO of the marketing company Just Ask a Woman. Mary Jo, good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Lots of different studies done in this one study in particular. We've pulled out some elements that we thought were most important. Let's get right to it because we do have quite a few here. We're going to talk about gender and age here. And what victims did about it. But let's start with something in regards to gender. Now, it found that women reported a higher incidence of being bullied. 34% of women surveyed said they felt they were a victim of bullying compared to just 22% of men. Why with women, 1/3 reported with the men only being about 20%?
Right. Well, think about a bully. A bully needs a target, and generally that target's someone farther down the food chain, and unfortunately there are more women who are less senior, so they make a bigger target. I think also women have radar. They can pick up those unseen, subtle bullying signals, and so that sensitivity probably raises the concern.
Is that what you think? Sometimes it is a little bit more sensitivity rather than just kind of being overt bullying?
It can be. I think today's bullying is actually a little scarier. It's not the screaming in the conference room. It's the sabotaging of ideas when no one else is there.
Yeah.
You know, that's a little scarier.
The age factor, I thought that this was very eye-opening. It showed that those age 55 and older and those age 24 and younger reported 29%, identical numbers there, being bullied, the two highest percentages of any of the ages surveyed. Why were these age groups so popular in this category?
Well, it didn't surprise me because they're really the most vulnerable, ironically. If you think 55 and older, unfortunately, in this economy, they're the ones who are most fearful of the pink slip because the opportunities aren't there, so they are a target. Also, 24 and under, it's a confidence issue. They maybe don't know any better, and they think that's the way you're supposed to be treated in the workplace. Not true, but they're still new.
With some of those older folks, too, you mentioned the sensitivity of potentially getting a pink slip. Do they also come to a point where they're like, you know what, this is just not worth the battle at this point, so I'll sit back and take it?
Yeah, they've seen enough battles, and so who needs one more conflict? I'd rather just keep the job and put my head down.
Yeah. Another interesting finding in the study was how people actually handled the bullying problem. Some of the numbers here: 47% of all workers reported bullying, confronted their bully directly. Of those people, 43% said the problem had stopped. 13% said that it worsened, and 44% said everything stayed just about the same. So let me ask you this. Does this make a good argument for confronting a bully in the workplace?
I'd still say do it. Your self-esteem needs it. There's just no way that you can let it go because a bully sees weakness and it'll only get worse. So you can either suffer in silence and, have a stomach ache or just stand up and take it.
Do you take a big chance, though, by confronting? I mean, in the workplace, it's a little different than the playground. I mean, the playground, you could get into a fight, something like that. You do that in the workplace, and the ramifications are a little bit different.
Well, you don't treat it like you're in the playground. I think that's the biggest difference. This is work, and you got to treat it as a work assignment that you're going to fix this situation, and you can.
Another route to take is obviously human resources. You can just go to HR. It says here 28% of those surveyed said that they took their matter to the HR department. Of those, 38% said that measures were taken to resolve the problem, but an alarming 62% said that nothing was done. Shouldn't companies, isn't it incumbent upon them to make sure if a complaint is registered that they do something?
You'd think so, but really, HR, they're not the hall monitors of the schoolyard, and their job is to keep the company balanced and successful. So they can be great, and that's terrific, but they're going to defend whoever is bringing money in. And it could be that the bully's farther up and therefore is a revenue generator, and they're not going to mess with that person.
They still are working for the company. That's the one thing I guess you have to keep in mind. As a career businesswoman, that you've seen firsthand a lot of these situations play out, you say that being bullied in the workplace, what is the first thing that you have to do to try to end it if you are on the receiving end of some of this treatment?
Well, the first thing is you have to get the facts because it's an emotional feeling. So you might want to scream or you might want to, have a big tirade of your own. Waste of time. Put it aside and get the pattern, keep notes, make sure there's more than one time so it wasn't just a one-off.
So how much evidence would you say that you actually need to actually build your case?
I'd look for at least 2 or 3 occurrences before I decide that it was personal, and I'd also be sure I could get some witnesses.
Yeah, you say that also that confronting the bully is a key to making them stop, but how do you best communicate with someone who is stubborn or potentially ignorant?
I think the best way to diffuse, especially the ignorance, as you said, but even the anger, is to walk in an atmosphere of mutual respect. At least try I'm here to be successful, and so are you. So let's just put it on the table, and you're going to have to knock it off.
All right. Mary Lou Quinlan, thank you. Some good advice. We appreciate it.